Throughout this entire mental health series, and even stretching back to our immunity series, there's been a quiet thread running through almost every video. When we explored the mind-body bridge, we mentioned a calm country road that counteracts the stress superhighway. When we toured the stress architecture of your brain, we hinted at a nerve that can literally put the brakes on your amygdala's alarm. When we discussed the gut-brain axis, we gestured toward a physical connection that carries messages in both directions. And when we talked about inflammation and immunity, we alluded to a pathway that can calm the immune system. Welcome to Health Sketchpad. I'm Dr. A.B. Today, we're finally giving that quiet thread the spotlight it deserves. Meet the vagus nerve, the longest and most mysterious nerve in your body. Its name comes from the Latin word for wandering, because it wanders from your brainstem all the way down to your gut, touching nearly every major organ along the way. It is the physical embodiment of the mind-body connection. It is the missing link between your gut, your brain, and your immune system. Understanding the vagus nerve isn't just fascinating neuroscience, it's the key to unlocking a powerful tool for calming anxiety, reducing inflammation, and improving your overall health. So, what exactly is the vagus nerve? The vagus nerve is the 10th cranial nerve, often labeled as cranial nerve 10. It's the longest and most complex of the 12 cranial nerves. While most nerves in your body only send signals in one direction, the vagus nerve is a two-way superhighway. About 80% of its fibers are sensory, meaning they carry information from your body up to your brain. Your gut tells your brain about nutrients, inflammation, and stress. Your heart tells your brain about your heart rate and blood pressure. Your lungs tell your brain about your breathing patterns. The remaining 20% are motor fibers, carrying commands from your brain back down to your body. Your brain tells your heart to slow down, your stomach to digest, your lungs to calm your breathing. This bidirectional communication is what makes the vagus nerve so powerful. It's not just a nerve, it's the body's most important feedback loop. And it's constantly running, even when you're not aware of it. Think of it as the body's information superhighway, connecting your brain to every major organ and bringing news from the front lines of your internal world. To understand the vagus nerve's superpower, you need to understand your autonomic nervous system, the part of your nervous system that runs automatically without your conscious control. This system has two branches. The first is the sympathetic nervous system, your fight or flight system. When you're stressed or in danger, this branch activates. Your heart races, your breathing quickens, your muscles tense, blood flows away from digestion and toward your limbs. You're ready to fight or flee. The second is the parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest system. This is the brake pedal. When you're safe, this branch activates. Your heart slows, your breathing deepens. You digest food, you heal, you sleep. The vagus nerve is the main highway of your parasympathetic nervous system. It's the physical cable that carries the calm-down signals from your brain to your heart, lungs, and digestive system. When your vagus nerve is working well, you bounce back from stress quickly. Your heart rate returns to normal after a scare. Your digestion works properly. Your inflammation stays under control. When your vagus nerve function is weak, you get stuck in fight or flight mode. Your heart stays racing, your digestion suffers, your inflammation rises, and your mental health suffers. You've probably heard the phrase gut feeling or butterflies in your stomach. These aren't just expressions, they're descriptions of real biology. Your gut and your brain are in constant conversation, and the vagus nerve is their phone line. Here's something that surprises most people. 90% of the vagus nerve's fibers are sensory. That means the majority of traffic on this nerve is traveling upward, from your body to your brain. Your gut is constantly sending updates. It reports on nutrients, inflammation, bacterial populations, and even your emotional state. When you feel anxious, stress hormones can affect your gut, slowing digestion, causing discomfort, triggering that butterflies feeling. But the communication also goes the other way. An irritated gut can send distress signals up the vagus nerve to your brain, triggering feelings of anxiety, low mood, or brain fog. This is why gut health and mental health are so deeply connected. It's not just that stress upsets your stomach, it's also that an unhealthy gut can directly contribute to anxiety and depression. Research has shown that people with irritable bowel syndrome, or IBS, are 3 times more likely to experience anxiety disorders. And people with inflammatory bowel disease have higher rates of depression. The vagus nerve is the physical link behind these statistics. The vagus nerve's influence doesn't stop at your brain and gut. It also plays a critical role in regulating your immune system. This connection is called the cholinergic anti-inflammatory pathway. Let me explain what that means. Your immune cells, especially macrophages, are your body's first responders. When they detect an infection or injury, they release inflammatory molecules called cytokines. These molecules trigger inflammation, which helps fight infection and heal wounds. But inflammation is like fire. A little bit is helpful. Too much for too long damages healthy tissue and contributes to chronic diseases, including depression, anxiety, and autoimmune conditions. Here's where the vagus nerve comes in. When your vagus nerve is activated, it releases a neurotransmitter called acetylcholine at its nerve endings. Acetylcholine binds to receptors on your immune cells and literally tells them to calm down, to produce fewer inflammatory molecules. The vagus nerve is your body's natural brake on inflammation. It's a built-in anti-inflammatory system. This is why stimulating the vagus nerve is being studied as a treatment for inflammatory conditions like rheumatoid arthritis, Crohn's disease, and even depression. And this is why practices that activate the vagus nerve, like deep breathing, meditation, and cold exposure, can reduce inflammation throughout your body. Just like you can have a strong or weak heart, you can have strong or weak vagus nerve function. Scientists call this vagal tone. Vagal tone is a measure of how active your parasympathetic nervous system is, how well your brake pedal works. People with high vagal tone recover from stress quickly. After a stressful event, their heart rate returns to normal faster. Their inflammation stays low. They're more resilient to anxiety and depression. People with low vagal tone stay in fight or flight mode longer. Their heart rate stays elevated. Their inflammation is higher. They're more vulnerable to mood disorders, chronic inflammation, and digestive problems. Here's the exciting news. Vagal tone isn't fixed. You can improve it, just like you can strengthen a muscle with exercise. Research has shown that practices like slow, deep breathing, especially prolonged exhalations, meditation, yoga, and even cold exposure can increase vagal tone over time. Social connection and laughter also activate the vagus nerve. Even humming or singing, which vibrates the vocal cords connected to the vagus nerve, can improve vagal function. The vagus nerve is trainable, And that means you have more control over your stress response, your inflammation, and your mental health than you might think.
So how do you actually activate?
Your vagus nerve. Let me give you 5 practical tools you can start using today. Number 1, deep, slow breathing, especially with a prolonged exhalation. Inhale for 4 seconds, exhale for 6 or 8. The long exhale directly stimulates the vagus nerve, slowing your heart rate and activating your parasympathetic nervous system. This is why deep breathing is so effective for anxiety. Number 2, meditation and mindfulness. Regular mindfulness practice has been shown to increase vagal tone over time. It doesn't have to be hours a day. Even 10 minutes of mindful attention to your breath can make a difference. Number 3, cold exposure. This sounds uncomfortable, but it's powerful. Splashing cold water on your face, taking a cold shower, or even holding an ice pack to your chest activates the vagus nerve. The shock of cold triggers the diving reflex, which slows your heart rate and activates the parasympathetic system. Number 4, humming, singing, or chanting. The vagus nerve has branches that connect to your vocal cords and the back of your throat. When you hum, sing, or chant, the vibrations stimulate these branches, activating the nerve. This is why group singing feels so good. It's literally stimulating your vagus nerve. Number 5, social connection and laughter. Positive social interactions, hugs, and genuine laughter all activate the vagus nerve. This is one reason why loneliness is so harmful to health. It robs you of natural vagal stimulation. None of these tools require medication, special equipment, or hours of time. They're available to you right now.
The connection between the vagus nerve and mental health
Is one of the most exciting frontiers in neuroscience. Researchers have discovered that people with depression and anxiety often have lower vagal tone. Their brake pedal doesn't work as well. They stay in fight or flight mode longer. Their inflammation levels are higher. But here's where it gets really interesting. Directly stimulating the vagus nerve can improve depression. Vagus nerve stimulation, or VNS, is an FDA-approved treatment for treatment-resistant depression. A small device is implanted in the chest and sends regular electrical pulses to the vagus nerve. For patients who haven't responded to medication or therapy, VNS can be life-changing. Now, I'm not suggesting you need surgery. The non-invasive tools I just mentioned, breathing, meditation, cold exposure, humming, social connection, can also stimulate your vagus nerve naturally. The science is clear. The vagus nerve is a powerful lever for improving mental health. By learning to activate your brake pedal, you can calm your amygdala, reduce inflammation, and build resilience to stress. This is why understanding the vagus nerve matters. It's not just abstract anatomy. It's a practical, accessible tool for taking control of your mental and physical health.
Let's bring this all together.
The vagus nerve is the wandering nerve, a superhighway that connects your brain to your heart, your lungs, your gut, and your immune system. It is your parasympathetic brake pedal, helping you recover from stress. It is the physical line behind your gut feelings. It is your body's natural anti-inflammatory system. When your vagus nerve is working well, you're more resilient. You bounce back from stress faster. Your mood is more stable. Your digestion works better. Your inflammation stays under control. And the best news? You can strengthen your vagus nerve just like a muscle. Deep breathing, meditation, cold exposure, humming, singing, laughter, and social connection are all free, accessible, and scientifically proven to activate your brake pedal. This is the missing link we've been hinting at throughout this entire series. The physical structure that embodies the mind-body connection. If you found this video valuable, please share it with someone who might need to understand their own stress response better. Subscribe to the Health Sketchpad for more whiteboard explanations of how your brain, body, and immune system work together. Take a slow breath right now. Inhale for 4, exhale for 8. Feel the vagus nerve activate. You have more control than you think.